in the quiet, picturesque town of Binningen, just a stone's throw from Basel, Switzerland. The winter of 2024 brought a chilling story that would grip the nation and send shockwaves far beyond its borders. This is a story about beauty, ambition, and a dream that ended in an unimaginable nightmare. It's the story of Kristina Joksimovic. Kristina was a name synonymous with grace and success. At 38, she was more than just a former beauty queen. She was a force of nature. Many remembered her from her time as a finalist in the Miss Switzerland pageant, where her poise and charisma captivated audiences. But her journey didn't stop there. She channeled her passion and experience into a thriving career as a catwalk coach, mentoring the next generation of aspiring models. To those she taught, she was an inspiration. To her friends, she was a warm, kind-hearted soul. And to her 2 young daughters, she was simply mom. Life in Binningen seemed idyllic. Kristina was balancing her professional ambitions with the joys of motherhood, creating a life filled with promise. But that illusion was shattered on a cold morning in mid-February 2024. A simple, everyday routine would become the first sign that something was terribly wrong. Kristina was scheduled to pick up her children from their nursery. When she never arrived, a knot of worry began to form. Her absence was completely out of character. Alarmed, her parents began a frantic search for her, a search that would lead them to a discovery that would forever haunt them. They arrived at Kristina's family home, a place that should have been a sanctuary. As her father made his way through the house, he entered the laundry room. There he found a black bag. A sense of dread must have washed over him as he noticed something terribly familiar: strands of his daughter's blonde hair. That single, horrifying detail marked the beginning of one of the most gruesome and disturbing murder investigations in modern Swiss history. The Swiss authorities immediately launched a full-scale investigation, treating the case with the utmost urgency. The home became a crime scene, meticulously examined for any clue that could explain Kristina's disappearance. Early on, the focus of the inquiry narrowed to one person. Kristina's husband, identified only as Thomas due to strict Swiss privacy laws. When first questioned by police, Thomas presented a shocking, yet seemingly straightforward account. He claimed he had returned home to find his wife already dead. It was a story designed to paint him as a grieving husband, an innocent bystander to a tragic event. But as investigators dug deeper, his story began to crumble under the weight of the evidence they would soon uncover. The full horrific truth began to emerge from the medical examiner's office. An autopsy was performed, and the findings were stomach-churning. Kristina hadn't just been killed. She had been subjected to an act of utter brutality. The cause of death was determined to be strangulation. But the horror didn't end there. After she was murdered, her body was dismembered. Forensic analysis revealed the use of a horrifying array of tools. A jigsaw, garden shears, and knives had been used to carry out this gruesome act. The details became even more macabre. It appeared there was a concerted effort to completely erase any trace of what had been done. Reports suggested that parts of her remains were placed in a blender and dissolved with chemicals. Desperate, calculated attempt to destroy evidence and conceal the crime. The image of a peaceful family home was replaced by a scene of unimaginable violence. Faced with the mounting forensic evidence, Thomas's story changed. Weeks after his initial claim, he admitted to killing his wife. However, he insisted he had acted in self-defense, suggesting a struggle had taken place. But this new narrative was in direct conflict with the autopsy results. The medical examiner was clear. Kristina had been strangled before her body was dismembered. This critical detail dismantled his self-defense claim and became the cornerstone of the prosecution's case. It suggested a cold, deliberate act, not a panicked response in a moment of struggle. After a lengthy and meticulous investigation, the Basel Landschaft prosecutor's office formally charged Thomas with murder and disturbing the peace of the dead. He was taken into custody, where he remains as the legal proceedings continue. Under Swiss law, the wheels of justice turn slowly and deliberately. While the case is still unfolding, the severity of the charges reflects the prosecution's belief in the overwhelming evidence against him. The news of Kristina's death sent a wave of grief and disbelief through her community and the wider world. Friends, colleagues, and the young models she had mentored struggled to reconcile the vibrant, kind woman they knew with the horrific details of her death. Tributes poured in, painting a picture of a beloved figure whose life was cut tragically short. But Kristina's story is more than just a shocking true crime case. It has forced a difficult and necessary conversation about a subject that often remains hidden behind closed doors: domestic violence. Her death serves as a stark reminder that danger can lurk in the most unexpected places, even in seemingly perfect homes. It highlights the hidden struggles that many victims face, often in silence, and the devastating consequences that can result. This is not just a story about a crime, it is a memorial to a life stolen far too soon. It's a story about two young daughters who now face a future without their mother, their lives forever altered by a single act of violence. And it is a story about the relentless pursuit of justice in the face of unspeakable horror. The case of Kristina Joksimovic continues to resonate, a tragic testament to a profound loss, and a powerful call for greater awareness and vigilance to protect the vulnerable among us. Thank you for watching. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please know that help is available. We'll leave resources in the description below. Please take care, and we'll see you in the next video.